Welcome. You're listening to the 27th Hour with Junior
and Dre Rocker.
Get ready, strap in, and hang on.
Hey, welcome to the club, bud.
Okay, we're on the right track.
Like, so you good? You guys find the
What's our
game?
demographic going to be after this episode?
I don't even know.
Welcome back to the show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 27th hour. I don't know where that came from. I'm all alone in here and scared probably is what's going on. Don't tell anybody. It's our little secret. Nobody will know. Yo, everybody, how the hell you doing? What, seriously, how's it you? No. Yeah, you. Silly. Pinch yourself, fools. You're alive. Do you have any idea how lucky you are to be alive right now? We are so fucking lucky. It's the greatest time in the world, man. Why? I don't know. I don't need a why for that one, I guess. Coming from a guy that has all the whys. Some of you know this little complex brain. It's something else going on up there, which is going to be hopefully very well showcased on this episode of a topic I chose to hit as sporadic as I can in my true fashion. I'll give a backstory quickly on it. Here is I had a client the other day approach me and with a story about a question. Basically, it's kind of a story question, not relevant to what's happening here, about ADHD. And it interested me. When I'm tattooing people, and I'll preface this, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nothing. I'm not to treat, diagnose, or cure, or aid in any way, other than just my own little whatever you take from me. It's just the words, man. If you guys can use it, use it. This is what I've found with this scenario. I clicked well with the question, other than I didn't know the answer. Allow me to explain. I'm going to rip this off of the, just to be right, American Psychiatric Association website. Let's read a little quick thing here and give you the idea. Because I didn't know how to answer this, man. And I think you'll see why here. Not just because of the perceived illness. Anyhow, it's already kicking in. Hang on, fellas. What is ADD? It's the question, first thing. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, ADHD, is one of the most common mental disorders affecting children. ADHD also affects many adults. Symptoms of ADHD include inattention, not being able to keep focus, hyperactivity, excess movement that's not fitting to the setting, and impulsivity. That's funny shit. And impulsivity. Jesus, maybe I should learn how to read. I'll get back to that. Hasty acts that occur in a moment without thought. Sporadic, right? Everywhere. It's just happening, man. An estimated 8.4% of children and 2.5% of adults have ADHD. Yeah. ADHD is often first identified in school-age children when it leads to disruption in the classroom or problems with schoolwork. It is more common among boys than girls. Whew. Just right there. That's all good stuff. I hope that helped everybody learn what you have. Your little diagnoses. Let's go on further. I don't want to argue with anything here. It's silly how we're so easily put in boxes. Maybe this will help people of like-minded. With my simple brain, maybe this will hit. I think this is good stuff. Symptoms and diagnosis is the next piece of this. Many. Sorry guys, I don't read well. I guess it's cool. Many ADHD symptoms, such as high activity levels, difficulty remaining still for long periods of time, and limited attention spans, are common to young children in general. Interesting. The difference in children with ADHD is that their hyperactivity and inattention are noticeably greater than are noticeably greater than expected for their age. Got police here cruising. Sorry, guys. Listen to that last piece of that. See my ADHD? Love you too. Mwah. Hyperactivity and inattention are noticeably greater than expected, emphasis expected, for their age, and causes stress and problems functioning at home and school with friends, etc. Expected. We're good. I'm all good. ADHD is diagnosed as one of 3 types. Pardon me. Inattentive type, hyperactive, impulsive type, or combined type. A diagnosis is based on the symptoms that have occurred over the past 6 months. So it takes a little time to get you figured out, right? That's with anything. I'll just scrape along these here. I'll get to the good meat of this. Inattentive type. Let's see. 6 or 5 for people over 17 years. That's coming. Or the following symptoms occur frequently. So these are the symptoms, basically. Doesn't pay close enough attention to details or makes careless mistakes in school or job tasks. Okay, this is for me. Check. Has problems staying focused on tasks or activities, such as during lectures, conversations, or long reading. Check. Does not seem to listen when spoken to. Seems to be elsewhere, i.e. seems to be elsewhere. Check, check. Does not follow through on instructions and does not complete schoolwork, chores, or job duties. May start tasks but quickly loses focus. Interesting. Has problems organizing tasks and work. For instance, does not manage time well. I'm going to stop right there. Who has the management time measurer tool? This is some of my thing with some of this stuff. Is it's sad we go here. It truly is. Anyway, I'm trying to stay out of that. Sorry. I don't want to narrative this. I just want you to hear what I hear, and maybe it'll work here. So yeah, you don't manage time well. It's not you. Whoever has messy, disorganized work, misses deadlines. Check. Avoids or dislikes tasks that require sustained mental effort, such as preparing reports and completing forms. Often loses things needed for tasks for daily life, such as school papers, books, keys, etc., wallet, cell phone, blah, blah, blah. Like we all do. Check, check, check. Is easily distracted, like we all are. Check. Sorry to box you in here. There's one more. Forget daily tasks, such as doing chores and running errands. Older teens and adults may forget to return phone calls, pay bills, and keep appointments. Interesting. That makes it okay. You have a diagnosis. I'll get to all this. I promise this is good stuff. Hyperactive, impulsive type. 6 or 5 for people over 17 years. That was a study, I guess, apparently. Of the following symptoms occur frequently. Maybe. This is hyperactive. Fidgets with or traps hands or feet, or squirms in seat. Interesting. Doing that right now. Not able to stay seated in classroom or workplace. Okay, check. Runs about or climbs where it is inappropriate. Copy that. Unable to play or do leisure activities quietly. Okay, always on the go. Oh boy, as if driven by a motor. Stop right there, all of you that do know this scenario. Don't laugh anymore. Listen. It's good shit. Talks too much. Is there a measurement tool for this as well? Talking too much. I understand it's I'm trying to calm down. I just want to scream at all these. Blurts out an answer before a question has been finished. For instance, may finish people's sentences. Can't wait to speak in conversations. Has difficulty waiting his or her turn, such as waiting in lines, interrupts or intrudes on others. For instance, cuts into conversations, games, activities, or starts using other people's things without permission. Older teens and adults may take over what others are doing. Give me that shovel, kid. Pretty interesting. There's no lab tests. It's part of it. Children, listen. There is no lab test to diagnose ADHD. Diagnoses involves gathering information from parents, teachers, and others. Filling out checklists and having medical evaluation, including vision and hearing screening. Oh boy. To rule out other medical problems. That's good. Let's blanket this up. The symptoms are not the result of a person being defiant or hostile or unable to understand a task or instruction. I'm going to try to keep this to myself anymore. Sorry, I'm getting excited. The causes of ADHD. But now we know a cause here. Scientists have not, that's the last time I'll say that. Any interjecting, I promise. Scientists have not yet identified the specific causes of ADHD. There is evidence suggesting that genetics contribute to ADHD. For example, 3 out of 4 children with ADHD have a relative with the disorder. Go down the genetic path. Other factors may include development of this, including born prematurely, brain injury, mother smoking was one, it looks like, using alcohol, or having extreme stress during pregnancy. Is everybody terrified yet? Thank you. Okay, ADHD and school-age child. Here we go. You little youngsters, strap down and listen to this. You're probably not driving. Mom, pull over so they can hear this. I won't even swear. Teachers and school staff can provide parents and doctors with information to help evaluate behavior and learning problems and can assist with behavioral training. However, school staff cannot diagnose ADHD. I know. Okay, that's fair. Hope not. Make decisions about treatment or require a student to take medication. Blah, blah, blah. This is very simple. Only parents and guardians can make. Students who ADHD impairs their learning may qualify for special education under the Individuals the Disabilities Education Act for the Selection 504 plan. Blah, blah, blah. That's a lot of info there. I'm not going to get into that. That's not what I'm trying to do here. They can change your classrooms. They'll help you. They'll help you out. ADHD in adults. All you little adulters. I'm one of those now. It's awesome. Almost a grandpa, by the way. Here any day. Here any day now. Back on task. And I'm all alone in here. Y'all be proud of me. Nobody helping me. Trey could use you, though. Thank you. Back to it. ADHD in adults. Many adults with ADHD do not realize they have the disorder. Please remember that. I said that, though. Not them. Remember what that just said, please, and we're going to come back to this one. Highlight. A comprehensive evaluation typically includes a review of the past current symptoms, a medical exam and history, and using adult rating scales. And there's a whole bunch of things we can measure it with here. It's great. Adults with ADHD are treated with medication. That's good. Psychotherapy or a combination. It says behavior management strategies such as ways to minimize distractions and increase structure and organization. Involving immediate family members can also be helpful. This is just a guideline to life. This is beautiful. The whole thing is something I don't want to take it apart and smash it. That's not what I'm about. I was more about reading the one I could trust the most. I would imagine definition, which most of you know I struggle with those. Label, trying to understand things in a very labeled way, right? That's who I am, but I'm trying to get away from that shit. It really doesn't matter. All of a sudden, when you have a label for it, it's there, and it's alive. You give it life, right? The part I found really interesting the most, many adults with ADHD do not realize they have the disorder. Can we just stop right there? Right there. Everybody take a breath. I'm going to repeat that one more time. This is... Many adults with ADHD do not realize they have the disorder. That's the end of the sentence, period. A comprehensive evaluation typically includes, it gives you the list of what you got to do to go see if you have this. Imagine. How about just imagine? I'm finding it harder and harder as I go through some of these topics and some of these perceived issues, and not just be kind of as open as I can be with how I feel about them without being. I don't want it to sound rude, man. I really don't. I got no hate against it, and anybody struggling with this, perceivably, my heart is out there, man. You guys are. I don't even know. I know several people with this so-called disorder. Your boy right here. Going back to the statement, many adults with ADHD do not realize they have the disorder. Many adults don't even realize it. Why did we need to realize it? Is your life truly affected by anything but you? We'll do that one more time. Who? Things happen. Life happens. Yeah, man, I feel it. Who's in charge? Who's running our ships? Who's steering the old rudder here? I get through a lot of this stuff with just gnarly accountability, man, where I know no matter what, I have something to do with anything going on in my life. It's a really bizarre concept to even fathom the idea that could be a thing, right? Man, I only thing I know, go right at it. Go right at the heart of it. And start right off with how did that stop sign get there that I just hit, right? How the fuck did you hit the stop sign? Are we these people that seek problems in other things? Is that our first response to anything that goes any way other than what we want? I think that's something to really watch right there, right? I want all kinds of things. There's a cool quote by Sid Banks' wife. I can't remember her name. Skipping me off the top of my head, but he's pretty cool. We check out his work. It's super old. It's kind of hard to find, but Sid Banks is his name. He was a welder from Scotland, and he had this epiphany and this big enlightenment thing. It's a cool story. You'd have to check it all out. But he had this, and he was just a welder, dude, and he had this enlightened awakening thing and just started writing down these unbelievable things. And his wife said one cool quote. I'm sure she said several. I only know of the one that grabbed me was, the secret's here. You can have absolutely anything in life that you want if you really want it. I think that's so weirdly good. Why golden rules? Why simplify? Because it's real. How much more real does it get then? Do you really want it? There's no people that want things that tend to not talk about wanting things. They're in active motion of cultivating the thing. This is where I surround myself. Looping on back around to my best friend. ADHD. In no way, in any way, shape, or form am I taken away from this illness. I hope everybody hears that. And if there's hate stuff there, I apologize. I mean no harm. I have it. I believe. I don't diagnose. I don't do these things. I think there's a whole lot of power in attention, and where your attention is where you are. You ever get lost in a moment doing something, it doesn't matter what it is, and you're not thinking about it, and shit's happening elsewhere, or I think you know what I mean? Like when your attention is so goofy, it's following your mind, not necessarily your physical body sometimes. It's goofy. I'm sorry, man, what'd you say? You're 3 seconds, you're 3 feet from me, bro. We're talking about the whatever the hell it is, right? And you're there, but you're not there. You're not listening. You're on autopilot. You're, whatever it may be, the case, you're not interested. That's simply all I see it as. ADHD ADD, cases like mine, perceivably mine. I don't nail down things and say I have anything. I don't know any of these things. I don't care to know them. If you do, that's beautiful. Whatever you seek, and you will find it. I don't care to find my flaws and understand my perceived things. They're not harming me in any physical way to where I can't, mobily move through things. There's another cool quote. Okay, I don't want to butcher it. I'll wait on this one. We can maybe sneak that one out of there. Sorry. I got ADHD going here. Am I making this shit real for everybody? It's as real for me as anything. I'm one of these humans, I believe, that would be considered with this thing. And kind of all I'm getting at is I track around like I do, because I do. I love it. That's just who I am. I'm that kid, man. I have it. I do have it. I think. I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't tend not to think about things I don't want to think about. And it's really weird how life just kind of happens and you just go through it if you're not too concerned with what your outcome, the desired thing is. It's a little easier just to kind of go with it. I'm not saying I'm a super go with it guy. I just move. I move with purpose. I know why I'm where I'm at. If I'm just at present. It's my life's work in this moment in time. Just trying to be so present. And when you are present, nothing else matters at all. Time goes away. Lose track of time. Holy shit, I gotta go. That's what this is. You're present. You're alive, man. Nothing else matters. You're right there. I think there's a lot to say to just give all that you can in every situation, and forgetfulness for the next time when you meet whoever this is again or this other experience is beautiful. Forgetfulness is beautiful. Everything that people that I have spoke to dealing with perceived issues, they're just of such. I don't see them that way. I don't know why either. It doesn't make any sense. I wish I could bottle it and help wedge this where it needs to be, like serve it if somebody wanted it. Whatever you think about, you just are. It's not much more simple than that. It's so flawed and hard to go through and navigate, right? If you think it is. What if the same gnarly experience we're going through is just okay? Do you picture the mom and dramatic? Here I go again. The dramatic guy that works, right? Think about this. There's a plane going down. God forbid any of this. My morbid mind. But it's real. You're in a plane and it's crashing down, right? Or how many of the people in there do you think are in that second and immersed in that? I just wonder. I don't know. It seems like in times like this, when we're actually faced with stuff's happening, you tell yourself a story and you go somewhere else. You go back to fairy tale land, like when we were kids. We make up stories when we're kids to tell ourselves something is different or in some way or achievable, or you know what I mean? You mold it to you, right? Is that the idea? Why does that go away as we age? It doesn't seem to me to need to. And I'm just spitting this shit out as I go. I didn't write anything down or anything to kind of follow, so I'm probably ADHD in you everywhere, but this is my brain, man, and I'm proud of how it works. And if you're like me and I'm 40, whatever, so man, it's a gift. Congratulations. You have an absolute gift that makes you No, you don't like what you are doing. Why can't we think of it this way? There's 2 ways to think about everything in life, right? At least. There's a million ways. But simplify things, and that's what I found to be effective is, I say black and white, but I don't mean it necessarily across the board. Everything's just black and white. Although most of my things are, I decide, I move, I go, I just kind of deal with my map I'm putting in front of myself, and I'm doing whatever I'm doing I'm okay with because I'm doing it. I don't blame an attempt with my whole heart not to blame anybody at all for anything I have done. What if we just, there's yin and yang and there's a good and bad. It takes, if you look at any Alan Watts' work, if you haven't, please do it. Treat yourself. If you like anything about this show, he's incredible. Alan Watts, he was an old writer, philosopher, back in the 50s, 60s. He's long since dead, but unbelievable dude. And he breaks down all of this so beautifully and into we as children, we're so spongy and want to know and want to learn and take in, but we're not being serious at all. Kids are goofy, we're funny, we're happy, we laugh for the most part, right? That's the idea in my mind. I see joy, happiness, giggly, my own reflection looking back. I've lost a lot of that. Why? Look what else I've lost. Imagination. Does that sound like you, man? I don't know. Get real right there. The more real you get with your question you have of yourself or of an experience, or the more accurate the question, the more in depth, the more you've put to a desired outcome, the more you're going to receive. I think it's that way. So ADHD, there you go, yin and yang, coming on back. It's really not that hard. It is hard. It's complicated. We'll say that. Things are easy, but they're complicated. Gary Vee, I believe, says that, where life is simple, but it's complicated. They're kind of different. If you simplify it, that's a choice. Everything's just hard already. It's hard to solve math problems without, what do? Get a few key skills that we have obtained to handle whatever this problem is coming. Simplify. Start breaking things down and understanding what they are, right? That's all we're trying to do. How hard is it just to say, where the fuck did that stop sign come from? As simple as making any change in anything is just that. Make anything change. Make a change of any kind. And it inevitably will sway the circumstance one way or the other. If you're stuck in little ruts and have these same goofy little things and you're always not a victim mentality thing. Shout out Jared Pressler, by the way. I heard your show on that. It's dope, man. You guys haven't checked his stuff out. Check it out. He's doing good stuff over there. He did a thing on this. So I'm not going down that road at all. It's kind of similar. It's our life. Let's just live our life with a little less worry about anything else affecting your experience of life. ADHD is a gift. You already have it. If you're doing this and you're going through it and you're doomed with it, right? You already got it. You got it. You have a choice with this. Use it as fuel or complain about it. And I'm starting to find a little more and more as I get through all this. Perfectly my thing here. This is not science at all. If it is, I'll preface it. This is just me. My belief is, in any conversation of any kind, with any human at all, about anything, anytime there's complaint, in anywhere, about anything, there's only a couple things happening there to me. Once again, this ain't science, fools. This is how I feel. Complaining is simply not knowing in one way or 10 million other ways for whatever the topic is. You don't know, you don't understand, you actually don't know what you're speaking of. That frustrates people. You want to be something you're not in front of somebody else, so you dolly it up. I think you get it. Be honest with everything. You got ADHD. Good for you. It's a gift. Anything you want to touch, these kids are psychopaths. These adults, these whatever ailment you think you have, use it as fuel. You do have that choice. That's all I'm getting at. There's the yin and yang. You can go however you want to go. Positive, negative. You can go happy, sad. You can go what works for you. Chances are a lot of times some of these questions keep coming up and we're not getting anywhere on this self-help and we can't figure out what's going on with us. There's nothing wrong. Try to not think about thinking. I'll wait if you want me to. See what happens. I'll give you one more little one too. It's pretty cool. I'm going to say a word, and your instruction as your coach as of now is to not think of it, say it, anything. I'm going to say it, and I want it gone. That's how this works. Red apple. That's all you're thinking about. Humans are not that hard, man. We're very, very suggestive. We're very malleable. We flow. Humans flow, man. We have a flow. What's your flow, right? What the fuck are you into, man? Chances are you're flipping burgers and you're complaining. Here we go about it. Let's just fix it. I'm a helpless fixer from birth with this ADHD, ADD, whatever. I'm sure I have everything. I don't know. Those of you that know me are giggling your ass off. Thanks you. I appreciate it. Write me in, by the way. See who you all are. I love it. Tell me which ones you think I have, if all. And the severity of it, please. 1 to 10. Yeah, I already know that answer, but send it. It's perception, man. I'm proud of being everywhere. I can see my opinion of ADD, ADHD people in my little area can see multiple angles of multiple things. 100% attention in any one direction, absolutely not. I think that's completely false. I don't believe that's possible. You cannot, I don't believe, this is me now once again, that you can absolutely focus, hyper-focus on one thing. I don't believe it's possible. And I think the more we attempt it, the more it's don't hit the curb, don't hit the curb, don't hit the curb. What happens? Inevitably, most of the time, you hit the curb. I don't know about all this driving stuff. That's kind of weird. I've been driving my whole life. I have no idea where that came from, guys. But hey, enjoy the stop signs and the curbs. Anyhow, no ADHD here. Is that so? I don't know, man. That's how my brain works. That's how I process what everybody would say is a problem. I didn't know it was a problem. My parents didn't talk about it. You can go every which way with that. That's good, that's bad, that's whatever you think it is. For me, it was beautiful. If you don't talk about cancer, do you have cancer? It's a valid thing. What do you want to solve? That's where we get into ask whatever question you're looking for the answer to. Vague questions gets a vague answer with me. When I'm working with people up here, it's very, if you want to nail down some stuff, let's do that, man. Life isn't like a just blanketed thing. I say it all the time. There's no, everything is so situational and so to the moment of with that person at that time and that exact everything that there's no need to make these plans and these ideas for how things are to be and what they should, shall, and will be. That's all expectation, man. It's not happening. It hasn't happened. It's in the future, and there's absolutely zero in it, to my knowledge. Elon, hurry up. Come on now. Way to see this future and manipulate it in any way. So why not ride that beautiful wave that life is, that nobody knows anything about? Mind you, nobody has answers for this. If you do, hit me up. The fact that we talk about it and dissect it and try to understand it, as we all try to, this self-help and whatever it is, whatever you want to call this. We do it for a reason. Is anything broken? That's a valid statement right there. A question, I mean. Is it? I know a guy that has a limb removed due to an accident. Long story. I won't get into the details. That's the last thing in conversation. That's the last thing at all. It's not. You ever notice that? People, maybe not that dramatic once again with a limb loss, but people that truly like struggle and go through stuff are actually chill, or they actually see what really things are instead of what they could be. Life's our own, man. We just rock and roll and do it. I'm just trying to help with what helps me, and that is to simplify things, because my brain is incredibly, as yours, as everybody's is, everywhere. And I use it as a gift, and I think it's beautiful because I choose that. Do I actually think that? Totally different scenario. For what this is doing here, I think anything can be anything you want it to be, just like the fairy tale we told ourselves growing up about whatever yours was. There's a million of them. Fantasies. These are stories. Oftentimes, these projections of the future, you go with a fantasy. Are they negative ever? Rarely does it have bad hurt and malice in it. They're always good, pleasurable things you desire, an angle you want, right? Life just kind of has a flow. And bouncing everywhere again, back to Alan Watts with yin and yang. It truly can't be forced with any degree of accuracy to change its course, I don't believe. Every second changes everything, for sure. There's so many theories on all this. But things just happen. The old quote, the show must go on. The show does go on. So I know for me, not worrying about anything that I can't do anything about is so powerful. And what is it that we can do anything about? It has nothing to do with front, back, side to side. It's right in front of your feet, in front of your face, where you stand and breathe. That's all you can manipulate. Ish. That's my opinion. Yes, you can get on your phone and handle stuff whatever that is for you. Chances are you're this person that's tripping out on all this shit, right? I am too. I get it. ADD, hello, ADHD. The more I dig, the more I find I don't know. Do you know what that does to my brain? Probably the same thing to you. Gotta know. I've learned just to love the journey of not knowing. And I love to cultivate. I love to work. I love to move. I love to pivot. I love to grind. I love to not, in my opinion, just let life kind of roll by. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. It's just not me. So why don't we all just let each other be who we are? That would be really interesting if we... Or that's a whole other concept. Oh, God. Don't worry about anybody. Worry about yourself. What? These golden rules we live by that were taught to us as children, their beautiful simplicity is nostalgic. All the golden rules are all so simple. You all know 10 of them. Thou shalt not. Pick it. I don't know, however you said it, however you heard it. There's so many cool little golden rules. Treat people like you want to be treated. I think you get it. That's it. That's life. What's wrong with just simple, right? I often have found with my brain, the more, if you have this element, if you, whatever you want to call it, if you have this badass perceivable thing that you think you have, there's another, that's it. That's the ADD. Guy walks into the psychiatrist and says, this is the thing I forgot earlier, guys. Doc, I tell this all the time in my coaching. I got a problem, Doc. I need your help. Oh, good. Okay. Have a seat. How you doing, Tom? Good. Hey, this is what I got going on. I'm pretty sure I think I'm crazy. This, and this has happened. I've lost my wife. I've lost my 15-minute story about everything that's happening wrong to this person. At the end of the story, the psychiatrist stops him finally. at the end of the story, he stops him. That's really cute. I wonder what that's called. Better look it up. I'm sure you're all doing it right now. Thank you. He says, it's just simple. Easiest thing we've dealt with in a long time. You see, the problem is, yeah, Doc, what's the problem? He says, you know what? Do you want to know what your problem is? Yes, that's why I'm here. I'm paying you money for this. He said, you think you have a problem. Soak that up and enjoy that. And that's kind of where my brain ticks. Tick, tick, tick. Thought is a very powerful thing. Why not use it to our advantage? If you got to tell yourself a little lie that you don't feel good when you do, oh, what a shame. It becomes a mindset, man. It's infectious. And it's looping and it's habit forming like humans are, because we're autopiloty and can't be in the now. If you're an autopilot, by the way, you ain't in the now. You're not present at all. You're flying with your podcast like I do. Yeah. You're checked out of where you are, right? It's kind of strange how that works. None of this matters at all unless you want help with something. I'm hoping some of this is working, helping. I mean, no harm in any word of what I think of all this. I could go way deeper and a little bit more aggressive with it. I don't see. I attempt to not see issues. I try to find 16 ways to move that door than one way that it won't work. It just happens to be kind of how I'm wired. I don't know if that's. I don't know. I thought we were all kind of similar people, and God, the more I think about it, check this out. More simple. This is off the top of the head, fellas. No writing this down. Think this out. How about this one? It is absolutely. This is on the record. Damn it. This is science to me. My fucking science. You absolutely 100% with everything I know in my heart cannot share the same experience with another human being. Yell at me, do whatever you wish. If you break that down and really look at what that said, I think that's so real. And I think knowing that for me has been super powerful. Just, it's a different angle. You're only 2 feet away from the person you're having a conversation with, and it is a complete different experience. If nothing for nothing, it's right through their eyes. You will never understand that. How about that to drive you mad? Do you want to think a little more? Welcome to my world, boys and girls. The more you think, the more you think. The more you know, the less you perceivably feel you have earned and now own and know. On and on. Live in every little second of your life and just love it and be as ADD as you want to be. You have no issues with nothing. You just think you have issues. So going back to my story with the guy at the start of this thing. Wanted to know what to do with this. Like a good little soldier, I did some research. That's not very often. So I wanted to give a really cool, the answer. It's coming from me, right? My answer. But I wanted to have some research with it, with actual, some of them things that are just unbelievable to me, what the perceived thing is about these diseases. They're perceived. Perception is so bizarre. And we can choose where to put it, whether it's that fell on me or why, what the hell was I here when that fell? There's a whole lot, too, where you think you fit into things, right? What if we took 2 seconds and tried not to think at all? Try it. You can't do it. It's impossible. It's cool. Simplifying things is tricky because it seems, I think, a little insensitive. If that's how it's perceived by some, when I've done some of this with some, obviously can't say everything, right? You can't tell the interactions, but whatever's perceived is okay. You can't control what other people think. You can't control what they see. You can't control anything about anything. Let's get real. I just proved it a second ago. I'm not a big prover guy, but this is no joke. Control your mind. If you can do that, good for you. There's a whole lot of stuff out there about different mind techniques, how to control your mind. I believe it's truly unbelievably impossible to do so. Your mind can just wander. Let it wander. You ever got, in some worked up thing, I'm going to kill that guy, whatever, cuts you off in traffic, something dramatic, something that's a fairy tale, right? A story. Ooh, if I was around, I would XYZ, right? I know you've done this. We've all done this. To what degree is whatever. You get that. It didn't happen, though. Did you kill the guy? Did you? That's all it is. You fairy taled this. You made this story. Whatever that is for you. You told yourself a little lie. Well, tell yourself you feel good when you get up. Try it. And it's weird. Once you say it and you start saying it, the quality of our thought is the quality of our life. The quality of our thoughts equals the quality of our life. If you think, wherever you are right now, I don't know how much more simple to make this, it's your fault. Your doing, not fault. It's fault. It's your adventure. It's your story. It's your whatever you want it to be. If you don't like it, I see two options. To simply start the journey of it. Change. Or quit complaining about it. People that complain have zero physical action. Most of the time, in my finding. Not everybody. Everybody, little circumstance is different. Totally is. Every single second is different. That's why I refrain from doing too much of this, what I think about stuff. Because everything warrants a beautiful interaction in its own right there, alive, right? Not planned, and I'm not real good at that, so, which is why I'm trying to do a little more of that. Anything I'm afraid of, go at it. This helps the ADD thing for sure. If you can't sit still in class, challenge yourself. Whatever you're struggling with, challenge it. That's why it's a challenge. It's really weird. As soon as you take the challenge, and even with win or defeat, that's also a perceived thing of good or bad. I personally think winning is worse than losing, fundamentally, all the way through. For me, for my mindset, I'm really hard on me. And I don't learn when I win because I want to party and, oh my God, I've made it. I've hit the pinnacle. We did it. Then I get lazy. You see what I mean? So this is kind of my mentality. I'm always, a lady perceived me one time as a very close friend of mine, actually. Why are you? And I like it's a good question. I love questions. Please, I love it. First of all, I don't like how hard you are on yourself. Why are you so hard on yourself? And that question caught me all kinds of cool. And I sit back, and in true fashion, I let it fly. I don't see it that way. There's so many ways to go around that little talk right there. I don't know. I could be a victim thing and say, I don't know, there's something wrong with me. I quite simply tripping, didn't know what to do, kind of was awkward. As the coach, it's cool. It was somebody asking for my advice, and I love back and forth. That's how we work through shit. I don't know answers. I definitely don't know yours. I can't even control my thoughts. We just talked about this. If I can't control my thoughts, why does anybody think anybody can help anybody else do anything? When's the last time somebody said something to you so impactful, it absolutely, 100%, without a doubt, physically changed you? Maybe it does. I don't know. It hasn't happened to me as far as I know. Every little instance is just happening, and it is a happening, and that's beautiful in its own thing. It needs no more explanation to me. I know I'm rambling. I'm a rambler. I'm a rambling man. I hope I beat this to death for you guys enough that you want to come back and get more of my banter. A lot of that had some science to it, fellas and fellettes. Shout out to everybody with this family that's helping this grow. I appreciate every one of you. And I know, I dare guess, 99% of you and your names and your kids and your dogs. And I appreciate the loyal and the real following and the support, man. You got every one of you know who you are. If there's anything I can ever do that would help this roll, if you want a topic, I've attempted it on the other shows, and I'm so an open book, man. Let's talk, let's interact. That's how we work through life, is we help each other with everything, right? I don't need help, nor do you. But if you got a cool idea, bro, let's talk it out. And the idea is great. Don't doubt it. Just throw it out there. Let somebody else judge it. You judge yourself anyway. That's part of all of this. You're harder on yourself than anybody is of you. It's really funny how we do this. So just knowing that. You're your own critic. You're not alone. That's for damn sure. I like to self-deprecate me for sure. I'm all about it. I find power in openly talking about it and saying that I feel like I'm just growing, man, right with everybody, and got absolutely nothing figured out, as I thought that one time I did. Tends to be an age thing, I think. I don't know. But I love to learn, and I have a really big infatuation with many things, but one of them is researching and digging and cultivating and writing down all these thoughts that come in my head. I just love it. It's chaos and it's beautiful, and it's my story. Are you living what you want? Right? That's the key. It's not having what you want, it's wanting what you have. Right? It's anything you ever want to go through, just go the opposite way with the other answer. It tends to be where we need to be hanging out. Kind of, you want to change, that's why you're seeking help. Simplify it and just go the opposite way and see what happens. We tend to stay in grooves, and we want to stay comfortable, and that's a whole other topic. Comfort is a bizarre thing. We all seek it, and none of us want it. It's beautiful. You'll have it for a minute, and you just, anyway, ADHD kicking in again. Let's see. Did I beat that up enough? Should we do a little more here? Here's a cool quote by Sid Banks. This guy's cool. He was the enlightened welder dude. If you didn't remember, you're just chiming in. He says, just a normal guy, man. He was just a normal, chilling, working man. He had this big old epiphany. He says, if the only thing we as people learned on this earth while we're here is not to be afraid of our own experience, that one thing would completely change the entire world. Yo, if that ain't powerful. Try not to pay attention to what you don't like and don't want to do and won't be part of. Make these teeny little shifts in just dumb little words. They're not dumb. I think you feel me. Simple, very subtle changes. Life happens in subtle changes for me, because if I do anything drastic and big, which is 27 hours a day, man, it can fall apart. Just make subtle, simple little moves. The way I've organized in my brain is I would imagine I come off as a little everywhere. I'm comfortable there. I'm very comfortable right there. If that's you, man, is all I'm saying this for. Instead of fighting it and hiding from it and being ashamed or whatever and need medicine and all these other things somebody else is telling you have, you didn't find it. It says this, right? Most adults don't know they have it. Most children, you don't know anything but what you're told. Think about that one too. And it's funny we take what people say and it's actually real. But oftentimes we don't think what we're saying is real. Interesting. I love to think. I love to talk. I love to get into these topics, man. I think it's cool. It's interesting, and I really enjoy to get deep into stuff. So if you guys have anything or want to call and then be on the show and talk and throw ideas around or whatever, man, let's do it. Let's do it. The more the better, man. I'm that guy for sure. So I'll close this out here real quick. Been going an hour, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'll close the show with I'm trying not trying shit. You don't try, Junior. See how I do that to myself? Do you know how fucking embarrassing it is that I do it live and right out loud? And yeah, I'm very critical of it. Chances are you didn't catch any of it. I just made it all come to light, right? Is what we say or what we don't say. Oh, people, if I could get you in this brain, you would love her. My intent with the show today, which I should have opened with, should and could and would, is all pieces of it didn't. Just do, people, right? My intention here is very clear at this studio. Anything to do with any interaction with this whole thing we have going over here. If you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. I put my heart and soul into every word, every drop of ink, every scribbled line with my pen, every spoken word to the phone that reads through hearing aids so it's completely backwards and it doesn't work. And I believe in this with my whole heart. And any of you that I've been fortunate enough to meet and be part of our team and grow with this family, I adore all of you, truly. And I'm very, very grateful for everything each and every one of you have done, and you all know who you are. If you enjoy the content, please give us a like, subscribe. You know the drill, man. Share it. Get it out there. If it's the other way around, go ahead and say that. I'm okay with whatever, especially when it's real. So I'm going to close out with, we got intent. We did intent. Intention's the next episode. I think it's one of the most overlooked things that I have, for sure, is intent. So next time is intent. It'll be a good one. Really good one. Let me read you these song lyrics by my favorite band. One of my favorite bands. Cute. Which is it? As I go through this, I'm going to start doing that to you guys. Good luck keeping up with what I'm doing. I'm going to think out loud and let you hear my brain. So if I lose you, that's why I'm losing you. I love to think out loud and give you a full-on snippet of what the hell's happening in there, because it's just a flood, man. And when it's flooding, I let it go. I don't try to control it with force. Force always meets force. So if it gets crazy, that's who the fuck I am. Okay, here we go. Kill Switch Engage is the band. I love the band. And it's unassuming thing here. Kind of ties all together with, I think metal, in my opinion, would get the more of a rap of being not a positive thing, kind of aggressive, kind of a, I think there's a little misconception there with what it truly can be. Not all of it. There's country songs that are jazz, there's blues songs that are just, deep, scary, murder, kill. Like it doesn't matter, right? Music and all this, it knows no bounds of what the story is. So I want to kind of start doing this a little bit and letting you into the way I like to see things, and that's truly for what they are. With every sense I got firing. That's what I go for. When things move me, I hang on to it, man. And this is one of them. So it is Kill Switch Engage. And the song's called I'm Broken Too. You carry this weight trying to cover your mistakes, to make it seem like nothing could ever break you. But I see right through, because I'm broken too. In all the same places as you. And if you needed proof, I'll reopen my wounds. I see myself in you. I know you can make it through. If you need proof, I'll reopen my wounds. In all the right places for you, so now you see the truth, that you are broken too. I'll reopen my wounds for you. I keep making the same mistakes just to feel alive again. It's the only way to break on through. So stop numbing all the pain, because it just won't go away. If you only knew how much I needed you. And if you needed proof, I'd reopen my wounds. In all the right places for you. I can see the truth, because I am broken too. Broken. Just like you. Check that song out. You guys will freak. If you're a metal hater, I think you should look that song up and you might switch your gears. Oftentimes, one more little tangent, ADD boys hate any hate, anger, anything unpleasant, uneasy. I don't like this. I'm not doing that. Blah blah blah. Any of this, in my opinion, is oftentimes almost 100% tied to unbelievable no knowledge of what the fuck's going on. Try it. The ketchup, it may not kill you. It might be the best thing you ever tried. How do you know you're not an astronaut? Have you tried? Listen, the idea is just live with who you are and just be happy with what you are. And if you don't like it, all the words are there. You. It's on you, bro. If you guys need help, or girl, lady, whoever, I want to just empower people. That's what I'm all about. And I have a goofy little simple way of looking at things. If it's helpful to you and you need help, just know that you can make it through. And I can speak on some of this, because if you needed proof, I'll reopen my wounds. I can see the truth, because I'm broken too. Everybody be good to each other, good as you can. Whatever your intent is, it's going to show anyway. So do it with your heart, and it'll always be exactly what you want it to be. And if by chance it's not, it's no one's fault but your own fault. Remember one of my other favorite quotes? In closing, we're going to do two of them. What got you here won't get you there. Boom. One of the most powerful pieces of stuff I ever heard in my life. I love it. Tony Robbins did that one, I believe. What got you here won't get you there. Just know that. Pivot, move, do something different. Quit thinking about shit that's already happened. It already happened. There's no growth right there. It's pretty simple. So, ruts, they're pretty easy to get stuck in, man. They're just as easy to get out. They're easier to get out. Quit complaining. I got you. Let me know if I can help you guys. I love each and every one of you people. Happy holidays. It's been a wild year. Let's hang on. We're good. I don't give a shit if we're bad or not. We good. Love each other. Hate each other. Do what you do. But goddamn it, do it with purpose. And do what you mean. Don't be hiding it. People ain't stupid. I love you guys. guys so much, and thank you for checking into the show. And if you just showed up today, thank you for coming. Like, subscribe, and subscribe. You know the fucking word. Like, subscribe, and share. You know all this stuff. Help us out. Highline Tattoo Fab, 27th Hour Podcast. We got allrock.com. All of our shit's there. You know where we're at. Congratulations, you just found us if you just did, and I'm very, very thankful to have you. I think I drug that out a little further than about 100% of you would have, so ADD boy is on the way out. And remember, if you don't live for something, you will die for nothing. I love you all.